Dr. Cashflow here. I want to ask you a question. How much coverage do you currently have? You might feel like, oh, I have coverage, Dr. Cashflow. I have it with my job, or I have, a term policy somewhere. But how much coverage do you really have? And the question is, how much coverage should you have, right? Because most Americans are underinsured if they're even insured at all. And that is actually very scary and alarming. And the bottom line is, just because you pass away doesn't mean that there's not debt that your family has to deal with when you pass on. Because guess what? There's still taxes that has to pay. There's still debtors that once your death is publicized, that they go after your estate. Whether you think you have money or not, they still come after whatever you have left. So the question is, how much coverage do you need to have? And so we typically like to give our clients, just a basic parameter, but it is not concrete. And we found that most families are not calculating the cost of, their income. They're not considering, maybe you are a housewife or a house mom. And so a spouse might not be considering, oh, my wife doesn't work, so she doesn't need coverage, when actually she does. Because were you to lose your wife, the question is, how many people would you have to hire to replace her, right? And I don't mean getting another wife. I mean a babysitter, a cook, a cleaner, someone to take the dog out, just a slew of things that women go through, that different roles that we have to balance in life, right? So the question is, and even if your wife gets sick, because you've been thinking, or your husband gets sick, you've been thinking he hasn't been generating any income, he's a stay-at-home dad or a stay-at-home mom, but should they get sick, now there's no insurance coverage for you to take from while they're alive to help with their care. So this life insurance is no longer death insurance, everyone. You don't have to die to use it. So please remember this. This is living insurance now. Well, it already says life insurance, right? But we just automatically think, because we've been programmed all these years, that it is death insurance. But there is a unique insurance that has to be properly structured for us to be able to make that a live-in insurance, right? And so if you are interested in getting some coverage and you would like to know how much coverage you should have for your family, please reach out to me below and we can definitely get you connected as to how it is you can get started. Thanks so much.